Well,
That's true.
how's it, Dave? For the first time, I've actually got my heater on in the study. It is freezing out here in Joburg, eh?
Welcome to winter. We've been here for like a month.
Yeah, geez. And being in PE, it was actually like decent. It was good weather in PE.
Yeah, PE was nice. Yeah, and I was driving home yesterday. It was like 30 degrees. So yesterday was a scorcher.
Mm, it was beautiful, and then get back to Joburg and it's freezing. But
Yeah.
hey, what can you do? So yeah, Dave, let's see. Is anyone with us just yet, or do you still have people joining in?
Looks like people are still joining in, guys. Don't forget to pop into the chat box. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you've joined us, so we know who we're talking to. While you're there, you can also, if you have some questions, Andrew and I'll do some questions and answers a little bit later. You can feel free to put those down in there, and we'll be quite happy to do that.
Yeah, definitely, eh? And I think, Dave, what was so interesting was the road shows that we done, Durban, Cape Town, and PE, seeing what's happening in all the different cities and reconnecting with our partners like TAF and Absa Bank in South Africa and actually going out and looking at the deals that are currently happening in all the cities. And there's some big deals happening, which is awesome. So if you are out there and you're doing a deal, let us know. Give us your name, what city are you from, and what deal are you busy working on? Is it a flip? Is it a buy-to-let? Is it a multi-let? Let us know. And just remember that this is the Coffee Chat with Andrew and Dave. We want you to let your friends know about the specific session. So please tag them in. We'll be talking about property. I'll be supporting you. If you've got questions, throw them in. And then most importantly, we're going to be talking about the boot camp, the convention that is happening this weekend. You don't want to miss that, because if you do miss it, you have to wait another year. So, Dave, what's happening from your side?
No, not much. I'm just trying to sort of catch up on emails and take care of everyone. So for those of you who sort of coming in late, Andrew and I were in PE for most of last week, so I pretty much left the office Wednesday, sort of midday. So if I haven't replied to your email yet, you know why. But it's been really good, yeah. So other than just playing a bit of catch up and trying to just get my head above water again, I'm really excited. We had a great time in PE. Hey, Drew.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So we've got to go to Cravenstein's attorneys, and we connected with various different property practitioners and investors, and we went to Jade's house. I think you all know Jade Barcase, and he's one of the property coaches for the Property Academy, and he actually took us to North End. He took us to a few areas in P, saying these are the great areas for multi-lets, these are the great areas for flipping. So it's good to get inside knowledge and actually walk through one of his students' accommodation deals. NP, I think he paid like $580 for it, spent about $300 in the deal for about $1 million, and he's making some good cash flow on that deal, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
So
it's nice.
excited.
It's nice and busy as well. It's so nice to see so often we spend time working on deals, and then there's refurbs and there's processes, but like the deal's live and there's students coming in and out and wasting water. So it's good
Yeah.
to see that happening sort of in real time. It's always good to get on the
Jeez.
ground and do those.
Yeah, and finding out that PE doesn't have any water, or they've got a few weeks left. Kind
Yeah,
of
for
hectic, eh?
apparently so. No one really told us though.
Yeah, there's no signs. So let's see. Okay, cool. So please ask your questions in the chat box, like Dave said. Good to see you, Sai. Let me just cancel that call and let us know what you're working on, Sai. I know you're working on that guest house in Edenville, which is awesome. I've got your spreadsheet, which is great. We just need to go through it. Otherwise, Dave, do you want to start with what's happening this week in terms of events while people ask questions?
100%. So we'll wait for some questions to come through. It's going to be a really decent week. Obviously, Drew and I are on at the moment, just talking about what's happening for the week. So for those of you who are not aware, and I don't think we may have announced it yet, we're going to be picking these up to every week. So going forward, you'll be able to find us at the same place, same time, Monday, lunch o'clock. It'll be really good. Andrew, that's the private chat, not the
Yeah,
not
no,
the
I'm
group.
just busy testing all these features on this thing.
Cool. Wednesday night we got Q&A running. So for those of you guys who are intermediate professional members, you can join us for the Q&A, and we'll help you over there. We've got a couple of coaches coming aboard answering the questions, and from what I've seen, a lot of the questions are on installment sale agreements. Thursday night we've got some preliminary judging for Investor of the Year award. For those of you guys who have entered Investor of the Year awards, you still need to get your prelims done. You've got about another month and a bit to get those done, so it's really important that you get them done. That's really cool. But Drew and I will hop on with the entrance. They'll talk to us about the deals, show us the journey, tell us what's happening in their portfolio. Is that person calling Simone as well now?
Yeah, just phones ringing off. I guess that
Desperate.
Monday morning, the Monday at 1. And they call
Yeah.
the one phone, you don't answer. They call the second phone, they call the third phone. Anyways, that's
They call the fourth phone, I block them.
yeah, exactly.
So Drew and I will do the prelims on Thursday night, and then other than that, it's a pretty easy week. Then we'll go straight to convention. So for those of you guys who don't know, I think Andrew, we want to hop on and maybe show everyone what the convention is going to look like, what we're going to run through. But it's 2 solid days of some of the best property investors, from best speakers that we have, talking about the portfolios, talking about what's happening in the market, and giving you guys some new education. So it's going to be quite different from all the other events that we do going forward. So that's going to be really nice. Drew, do you want to start sharing that screen?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it should be sharing now.
There you go.
Cool. So this weekend is the convention, right? And this is where we bring a whole group of speakers from around South Africa into a 2-day bootcamp convention. Now, we ran one back in November last year. If you did attend that one, in the comments box, let me know. And now's the time to tag your friends and anyone that's getting started in property or has a small property portfolio. Make sure they do join this specific bootcamp. If I just scroll down to the bottom, as you can see there, it's Saturday, 12th of June, starts at 9. I will be kicking it off, looking at the needs assessment and the portfolio health check. Because what we're doing this weekend, some of you may have heard what I call the signature solution. There's a 9-point system that all investors must follow. Because what we found is that as soon as they miss one of those steps, or as soon as they go from step 1 to step 6 or step 2 to step 7, 9 times out of 10, they do actually, or investors do lose money. So we'll be following the signature solution. As you can see there, review structure and reignite with the blueprint. That's Leon. We're talking about tax. What vehicle should you be buying in? We've got property toolkits, live Q&A sessions with the experts. Sunday then comes and we go into, there is a special guest speaker coming, which is great. There's your OTPs that we'll be talking about, the importance of OTPs and going through what you can and can't do. Robin Booth's going to be there talking about refining systems. Dave's going to be taking you through some scenarios of running the numbers, both basic and advanced. If I just scroll down here to the bottom, he has a picture of all the speakers: Andrew, Leon, Shilly Boy, Jade, OTP, refining systems, Dave Masterclass. And we got Ross there from Preferential talking about how to manage your property portfolio. So it really is a jam-packed weekend. But the great thing about it, because we have the weekend, we don't need to rush anything. We can literally go through things step by step. There'll be an opportunity for all of you to take part, to ask questions. And remember, for those of you that go down the road of lifetime access, this is where you get access to all the sessions, the recordings, and all the downloadables. The speakers will have downloadables for you. So for 1,500 Rand for the whole weekend, you get access to all of that. It's very simple. Just go to the propertyacademy.co.za. And if you go to physical virtual workshops, you'll see the convention and they will pop the link in the chat box. And this is happening this weekend. And this doesn't happen very often, where we get all the speakers into one room. So, I mean, Dave, any comments from your side about this event, eh?
Yeah, so look, the last one we did was sort of end of last year. I can't remember if it was November or December. It was really good and it was just packed with tons of content. And I think the nice thing is we challenged all the speakers to create new slides, talk to us about stuff that they haven't spoken about before. So we generally really try to get that unique topic in. I know myself and Ross will probably be bouncing off each other a bit because I want to be talking about how to manage your risk as a property investor when you got that buy to let. How do you keep that money involved? And like that's something that we've never sort of put out on slides and had a video on. So that lifetime access is going to be key for you guys, because then you can go back, rewatch it, and it's going to be really fun for you.
Exactly, 100%. So we've actually got a lot of people joining us, Dave, this weekend, which is great. And for those of you that, and also I guess, Dave, with going into this third wave of COVID, it is advisable that moving forward for the next couple of weeks, people do stay at home and chill. So I would say that if you are going to be at home, make sure that you do join myself and Dave and the whole TPA and Sapin team for this weekend. Cool. So that is what's happening this week.
100%. So maybe what I'll do is quickly just look a little bit more forward. So because it's quite a quiet week, next week we've got Mastermind running on Thursday. So for the professional members, you can join Michael Bowen and Tanya Scott as they run the Mastermind. Make sure you guys are being held accountable and achieving your goals. And then Andrew and I will be in Durban next weekend. We'll fly up on Friday the 18th, and we've got a workshop all day Saturday on the 19th. So if you're in Durban and you want to pull through, make sure you check the links in the chat box over there. Head to the website, thepropertyacademy.co.za, and you'll find all the details for our Durban workshop. It's going to be a really fun one. Jade will be freshly back from his honeymoon, and we'll get Jade up there as well to do some talking, and we'll introduce you to all the Durban Oaks. Kendall Cow is going to be there. We got some Sakila is going to be there. So really good to see those guys.
And Dave, especially for Durban, being in the Durban CBD, I mean, Kendall's been investing in there for 18 years. And he said that he's finding it difficult to look at any other area in South Africa, even offshore, where he's getting the returns he's getting in Durban CBD. So I've asked Kendall if on Saturday the 19th, if we can pop in as a property coach with the academy and talk about what is happening in the Durban CBD. Where should you be looking at buying in the CBD? What type of property? Is it a buy-to-let? Is it a multi-let? And what buildings should we be looking at? That's what you call local knowledge. So if you're in and around Durban, whether it's Pietermaritzburg or surrounding areas, come join myself, Dave, and again the team in Durbs on the 19th of June. Cool. Are there any other questions coming in, or is it quiet today?
Awesome. No, they're very quiet today. No real questions. We got Sukumbozo, who's joining. He says he's on lunch, so he's very glad you can join us. That's why we're in for lunch o'clock lunch o'clock. That's right, for lunchtime on this. And Tas says on, say good morning. Viwe, we've got Viwe Stoffels. Hi, Viwe, good to have you on. Alani, Sai, some of the regulars. Cool, guys. So if you have any questions, let us know. Maybe, Drew, maybe what we should do is, because there aren't any questions, let's quickly run through exactly what happened in PE last week. Talk about some of the partners that we spent some time with and go through that.
Yeah, 100%. So I mean, Thursday. I think it was Thursday morning. I flew in. I got to PE at like, I think 7 or 8, and Dave fetched me, and we started connecting with Just Property, the CEO of Just Property, Paul Stevens, and looking at how do we work with them nationally. We met with Cravenstein's attorneys, we met with Uber as well, which was super interesting. And who else did we meet there, Dave? There was Tough. Tough was an interesting one, eh?
Tough was great. So we went to Tough. We were told that we were in the wrong city. Apparently, we should be in East London, not in PE.
Yeah. That was interesting, Dave. I was like, why didn't we go to East London? But East London's hot, apparently. Is there anyone from East London right now? Who knows East London very well? Because next time we do go to PE, we're definitely going to plan a trip to East London. Apparently, you get more for your money. There's a stronger demand for rentals. So East London is definitely top of our list for a visit. And the interesting thing about PE was that Tough actually drove us around the area, showed us the good parts, the bad parts, what they're getting for the buildings, the demand of PE, which was just amazing. Viwe is from East London. Viwe, so we will be joining you in the next 2 or 3 months in East London. We do want to grow a team in East London. So Alani will need a WhatsApp group for PE and East London, Dave? What do you think is 2 separate groups? What do you think?
We don't have more WhatsApp groups.
I think maybe a combined WhatsApp group might be good. Hey, Lani, what do you think?
Combined sounds good to me.
And then we we then grow that team. And yeah, I mean, it was just, I think reconnecting with humans again was just really good. And seeing how hungry investors are in PE and East London. And the deals that they're doing are fantastic, eh? We got hit by load shedding quite a lot, though, which is quite hectic.
Yeah, I didn't realize that PE had such bad load shedding. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that is.
What can you do about it, eh?
Yeah.
So here's a good question for Anton Fenter. Anton's from PE. Where do you start your property portfolio? Anton, let me scroll down. Andrew and I are back in PE on the 17th of July. We've got a day workshop scheduled over there. So maybe if we can just get the link put in the chat box, or maybe I'll grab it for you. And join us on the 17th. We'll talk you through the fundamentals of property investing, how to get a coach, how to get a mentor, and go through that process. It's going to be a really fun one because it's Durban and then Cape Town and then PE after that. Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at the short list.
And then, Anton, what we talk about on these one-day workshops is where do you start? And we start talking about the different vehicles. Should you start buying through your personal name or a company or trust? And how do you run the basic numbers? And how do you do due diligence on a property? And and running through some case studies, and then showing you how you can move forward from that one-day workshop. So that's probably your best bet, Anton. In the meantime, make sure you've joined SAPN. And you see what we're doing within the SAPN environment in PE. Join the community and then join us on the 19th of July. I think 19th of July, Dave, or what was the date there?
17th of July.
17th. And Alani's giving Anton the details, which is great. Molefi, good to see you on there. And Tommy's asking when you're coming to Bloemfontein.
I don't know. Andrew and I will probably figure that out later this week. Put some Bloemfontein dates in the book. Unfortunately, not a ton of demand in Bloemfontein, so we'll try get it maybe later this year. But I can't guarantee it's going to be something super soon. Yeah, because then I have to fly to Joburg and then we have to drive to Bloemfontein or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we can take a nice 4-hour drive there. So Tombi and Alani, let's get some more traction going in Bloemfontein, okay? And we'll pay a visit there. Something else on there. And Tombi, Kim Peterson, good to see you. We'll touch base after this call. So Kim may be doing her first deal. Let's see, hey Kim. I might have to push you over the line.
Kim better be doing her first deal.
No, I've been teasing her for way too long. Everyone, just say Kim, do the deal. Okay, cool.
Cool. Carrie Lee is saying she's driving. Carrie Lee, please drive safely. Can we give some more information on servitudes? All right. Okay, so there's Drew, do you have any comments on servitudes, or do you just want me to handle this one?
You can handle it for now. I'm just busy replying to someone's comment over here.
Cool. So, Carrie Lee, servitudes essentially means that there's some level of restriction on your title deed. So, servitudes are generally attached to your deed, and so you'll find a lot of variations in your servitudes. What it generally means is that a portion of that property has been limited for access to something else. So one of the examples I can give you, we had a property here in Cape Town that we wanted to work on, and we were looking to develop on it, and we found there was a servitude for the fuel lines that go to the harbor, so we couldn't build over a certain portion of that plot. So that's generally what it looks like, but it can be fairly different. There's a few other sort of things that come on as restrictions on your title deeds. Maybe you can't build above a certain height. Maybe you need to ensure that someone can access their sewerage or something like that from the back of your plot. So that's generally what it is. There's no hard and fast rules. There's no easy way to find out what they are. You've really got to get the deeds, look at them, get someone who can read Afrikaans generally for me to understand what the servitudes are, because a lot of the servitudes come from like way long back, and then you're speaking Afrikaans, and there's the sort of language barrier that could be over there. But it should be, if it should be on the deed, it should be fairly easy to find. You can often get those servitudes of something like Windeed. Windeed will often pull them forward. Can you challenge or change the servitudes? It depends on the nature of the servitude. Obviously, if it's an actively used servitude, like let's say for example Telkom has lines running under a certain part of the property, you're probably not going to get that changed. But if it's maybe a height restriction or a usage restriction, you could probably try to challenge that. So it depends on how active that servitude is. Like I said, lots of variation on them. So if you see in servitudes on a property, I'd say get your architect involved to take a look at them, maybe a town planner to take a look at it. But if it is generally, in my experience, with the exception of those few limitations in terms of you can't build above a certain height, generally they're pretty fixed there. Yeah,
and it's not often that you come across them, eh? I've come across them often in the UK, to be fair, but in South Africa, all the deals I've done haven't had servitudes, but basically it's just the rights over the property, right? And someone's registered it on that title deed.
Yeah, and it varies so much. There's so many different types of servitudes that you can get. So and like you said, Drew, it's fairly inconsistent. I think in my career, in South Africa, I've probably seen 3 or 4 servitudes. So it's not always a huge deal. So a lot of people, it is something very important to look out for, but yeah, it's not something that most people have to deal with.
Exactly, 100%. Cool. There's a question there from Malefi.
That's all yours.
Cool. Malefi says, any courses or service providers that you guys can recommend who do property sourcing courses teaching? Finding a lot of deals that I do not necessarily want to pursue and would like to consider wholesaling these to time poor investors. So It's actually something which the brokerage and the Property Academy have looked at actually doing a physical one-day workshop on just sourcing deals. It's something that we teach as coaches. So when students come to us and say, how do we package these deals? Us as property coaches teach our students how that works. And we've got to be very careful because we've got to make sure that we stay on the side of the law with that. As soon as you start sourcing, you're earning an active income. We've got to make sure that you do comply with the EAAB board, even though that's going to be changing this year. So Molefi, what I would say is, if there's anyone else that's interested in learning how to source properties, it's a conversation Dave and I can have. And perhaps we can put in a one-day workshop with the brokerage where we teach individuals how to package. It's one thing sourcing a deal, it's another thing packaging the deal and protecting yourself at the same time. It's not as easy as people think it is, but if you can get it right, it's very lucrative. So if there's anyone else on this call that wants to learn how to source deals for time poor investors and earn money, in that comments box, let us know. We'll take your details, and it could be something that we do ad hoc, that we do actually go and register. There goes the phone again.
I'm just thinking, so 100%. I think we're happy to do a workshop. It would probably be Joburg or virtual or a bit of both. Obviously, it depends on the demand. What is worth noting is that we did have a networking event a couple of months ago on this as well.
Yeah.
So again, this is something we covered in some levels, but not like a full one-day workshop or anything like that. So I think we're quite happy to do that. So if you guys maybe want to just drop us an email to support at SA Property Network or support at the Property Academy, let us know that you'd be interested in that course, and then we can sort of start putting it together and thinking about maybe getting it on the schedule.
Okay. No, excellent. So Lonnie's interested, Kerry's interested. Venetia's saying, hey, fellow investors. Hey, John, maybe just because of time, let's run through what events are happening this week and next week. And just before we do that, has anyone here on this call right now, has anyone done a property deal in the last 18 months? Just say, yes, I've done a deal. If you have done a deal, just let me know in the chat box, in the comments box. And as you're doing that, Dave, maybe you run us through what events are happening this week.
100%. Cool. So next up is Wednesday night. We got the Q&A happening. So for those intermediate professional members, you guys can join that. Sorry, not even during the day, 12:30 to 2. So that'll be a good one just to get your questions answered. For those of you guys who can't make that during lunchtime, we do have another one coming up in a few weeks. So join us again in a few weeks. Andrew and I are back here on Monday next week, and you'll find out about the next one that we have for those. Otherwise, the big call to action really is for the convention this weekend. We're all going to be super busy getting ready, crunching, getting everything going for the convention. It's going to be 2 packed days, a bunch of speakers. It's going to be a really fun one. And then looking forward a little further, Andrew and I in Durban next weekend for a day workshop. So if you want to get involved with sort of learning how property investing goes over there, Andrew, you want to quickly show us who's speaking this weekend, maybe?
Yeah, I can do that. So you can see my screen. If you just go to the propertyacademy.co.za and you go to virtual workshop and you scroll down, it'll say the Convention Property Investment Bootcamp. It's one of 2 of the biggest events of the year. This and Investor of the Year are the biggest events that we do run. The speakers are here at the bottom. So we got myself, Andrew Walker. We've got Leon Castleman talk about the blueprint. A very interesting one, and someone who's very passionate. Shirley Boy Matiba talking about tax, asset protection, and finance. And there's Jade Barkhazen talking about the property toolkits. And a section that a lot of people struggle with is this one, is the OTP course. Is the OTP, understanding of the OTP. And then we've got Robin Booth, some of you know him, how to refine your property business. Dave talking about masterclass in numbers, and Ross talking about portfolio management and risk mitigation. And there'll be some other guest speakers coming in as well. It's a fully fun, it's a jam-packed weekend, loads of content, loads of questions and answers in the session. So don't miss that event. And then, Dave, if I just pop into the second biggest event of the year, which is Investor of the Year. So if everyone just writes it down or click on the link in the comments box, investoroftheyear.co.za. So everyone that did say that they have done a deal, we've created this initiative for all types of investors, people buying their very first investment, people buying, they're being very aggressive, or they're, doing big leagues. And if you just go to this website, investoroftheyear.co.za, You can see there that to enter the competition, it's 247 Rand. If you just want to be a virtual attendee and be part of the community and be part of this initiative, is 97 Rand. Or you can attend live, but seats are limited. And it's very simple. You click on entries, and just if you've done a deal, just enter the deal. It's a very simple process. We'll have a conversation with you and let you know if it's going to work for the competition, but I'm pretty sure it will do. And all you do is you click on enter today, and you go through the motions. Very, very simple process. And remember, it's about your story. It's not only about how much money did you make, because it may be that your very first property was a buy-to-let. And it's about the challenges you face, about the story, and it's about you inspiring other property investors as well. So it's not just about you. So we've only got a few more months left of judging. So make sure you all take action and you do join this great competition. Okay. Cool. What else has come in there?
I'm just putting the link over there for everyone.
So Angus says, see you in the boot camp, which is great. Lira says you've done 6. So Lira, have we got Lira's details? I'm going to speak to Lira. Vinny, you've done a deal. Yako saying he's done a deal, and Sani saying yes. Okay, so Sani, Lira, Vinny, and Yako, can you join us this Thursday night at 6 o'clock? Can you guys enter your deal? And I want to get you guys involved on Thursday. Dave and Alani, just make sure we got the details. Obviously, we do, and Sani.
Facebook, Drew. We don't have everything.
I know. Vinny, going to make sure we get you on board. The more, the merrier. Okay, so and Tommy's also saying yes. So that's 6 people. Yako says sure, absolutely, thank you. Let's just get the details. Lira, we're asking if you can email us, please, support@sfpropertynetwork.com. And Sana says definitely. So that's 6 o'clock this Thursday. I want to see you all there at 6 o'clock with myself and Dave. Vinny says 100%. Cool.
Awesome.
See you then. Yeah, that'll be awesome, man. Be good to get these guys going.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Yeah, it's been so fun so far, seeing who's entering, what kind of deals these guys are doing. There's some guys who are doing some really big, impressive deals, but there's also some guys just getting started, getting out there, thinking a little bit differently about how to invest in property, and it's really nice to see. So it's not just about who's doing the biggest deals, who's going in this at their first time, getting out of their comfort zone. That's why we have all those different categories to make sure that you guys get taken care of. And for those of you guys like Lira, you've done 6 deals, so you're probably going to be looking into most growth.
Maybe most growth, perhaps. Yeah.
So most growth will be a really cool category. So don't worry about what category, just enter, talk to us about the deal. We'll sort of advise you on Thursday night about where we think you'll be entering. And then after, what happens is we do preliminaries with you. So that's Andrew and I, or some of the other coaches, the judges, getting aboard, just giving you that sort of initial assessments, giving you some advice. Semifinals is the actual sort of process where you're going to sit down in front of the panel of judges, pitch your deal, and from that, they're going to select the finalists. Then you can get your friends and family involved in, much like Idols. You can get all your friends and family to vote for you. Feel free to weigh the odds in your favor. It's going to be a really good one. Then you can get all your friends voting for you, and then on the night, on the 18th of November, we'll sit down and we'll announce who's winning those slots and who gets Investor of the Year award, which is going to be really exciting.
No, it's going to be good. And just a quick one for Yaku and Tombi and who else was there? Vinny and Sani. There is a WhatsApp group. Make sure that Alani adds you to that WhatsApp group, okay, or Dave. So that's why we do need your phone number, because there's a WhatsApp group just for Investor of the Year contestants, and we need you to be part of that. But yeah, I think, geez, it's going to be an awesome week, Dave. We've done the road show across the country now. The next road show is in a few months. Like Dave said, we've got the boot camp this week. We've got Durban the following week. We'll be in Cape Town and then PE again. So make sure you check out the websites to get more information, the propertyacademy.co.za and the sapropertynetwork.com for more information. Cool.
Cool. I think, Drew, let's put a hat on it there. We're going to be back here Monday, same time, same place. So looking forward to that one. And we'll see everyone this weekend at the convention, or we'll see you guys Thursday night for the preliminary judging for Investor of the Year award.
Absolutely.
Hopefully both.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. And we'll see you next Monday. Short and sweet.
Awesome. Thanks, Drew.